Professor Theophilus is the deputy president of the NLC's political commission. He led the charge last year when the NLC mandated the political commission to take over Labour Party headquarters and sack Abure and other impostors. He has been at the forefront calling for good governance, and in this interview he granted Punch newspapers yesterday, he said that P2B remains a formidable candidate that would defeat Tinubu if the election is free and fair, that he doesn't need any coalition with anyone, whether Atiku Abubakar or El-Rufai or PDP for that matter, that he can defeat them alone. While this is true to an extent, there's one thing Nigerians must put into consideration. A lot of people are overcome with apathy. Yes, going forward into the 2027 presidential election, there will be serious voter apathy. This is simply because Nigerians are still stigmatized from the last time. Their experience at the polls in 2023 presidential election, some are still gripped with that stigma. And going by all the narratives being spread today, many people are even overcome with fear. Yes, some might not even bother coming out to vote in 2027. This is the reality. Whether Obi will be on the ballot or not, many people will simply look away. They won't bother coming out. The narrative they are spreading that Tinubu will be undefeatable in 2027, it is working. No need denying the fact, because people are afraid. It's understandable. People can't just get themselves, they cannot motivate themselves to ignore all the narratives. Yes, information is flying all around them wherever you look, both online or offline. People keep spreading the same narrative. Someone that was able to rig himself into power when he wasn't in power, now he's in power and consolidating, you think you can remove him. Also, when they are reminded that Nigerians have done it before, they voted against incumbent Goodluck Jonathan in 2015, they will tell you, that one is very weak. This current one, he doesn't believe in rule of law, he will do anything to retain power in 2027, blah blah blah. The real issue remains, since it is by elections that Nigerians change leadership, Nigerians must seize the opportunity in 2027. Don't say, they have the army, they have the police, they have the judiciary, they have everything. Goodluck Jonathan also had all these. Are Nigerians going to stand by, giving excuses and allow people who want to obviously steal their votes to steal them without effort? It doesn't make any sense. At least Nigerians need to make them to work for it. Anyone that wants to rig an election to steal your votes, let him work for it. That's why people must resist. There is power in numbers. Organize yourselves in your community, in your polling units. Make sure you stand your ground, at least to the level you can tolerate, the level that doesn't put you at risk. You have to do it smartly. Yes, obviously you can't challenge people who have guns, people who are armed, but there is still power in numbers. If you resist, put up resistance, maybe the thugs that want to disturb the voting in your polling unit, they might not be up to 5 or maybe 10, and also they can't do that in many polling units. How many are there? So all these are strategies Nigerians can use to at least make the people work for it. If Nigerians keep giving excuses and on that day many wouldn't even bother to come out to vote or participate in what is going on, they say, they have won, they have written the results, they have done this, they've done that. No, make them work for it. The prof saying that Obi doesn't need any coalition to win in 2027 if the election is free and fair. No, he stands to gain more by having more people on his side, unlike not having them on his side. This is how politics works. It is all about numbers. The more people on your side, the more people that will defend the vote, the more likely that they cannot rig the election. That is how it works. Part of the reason Labour Party was rigged out or their votes reduced in some parts of Middle Belt and the North was because there were few people defending their votes. The more people vote for you, the more people defend your votes. The more you have party agents monitoring everything, they will be ready to follow the results sheets to anywhere. No matter how remote the collection center is, they will go there to defend you. But the fewer the people, the less interest. Your votes can be filtered away. Your votes can be transferred to another party because there are few people talking about it. There are few people monitoring them. So there is power in numbers. He has everything to gain. Even if he doesn't eventually contest in 2027, anyone from the South that contests that time must need a strong coalition, especially in the North. that person needs to win at least 40% of the votes. If Labour Party won 40% of the votes in the north, it would have been very difficult for them to declare Tinubu winner. Yes, because he got majority of his votes from the north. So imagine a coalition that will bring 40% of northern votes to the table, and Obi is able to bring maybe about 90% of the votes he got in 2023, or maybe say 80% from the middle belt, from the south, because right now they are focusing on the south, and obviously they'll be able to do many things. If they cannot get the votes, they will try to suppress it. That was the same thing INEC did in 2023. In places where they know they don't have support, that the opposition has more support there, they will try to suppress their votes. You know how they suppress votes. They will simply not deliver election materials in places where the opposition is strong. This will obviously frustrate voters. They will wait all day and no one will come to conduct the election. This is why they are getting governors to decamp into the Apathy, because election materials will be distributed at the headquarters of INEC, at the state capitals. The governors will be in charge of distribution of election materials. That's their plan. They already know places where they are strong and where the opposition is strong, so they will make sure they supply accordingly. So election rigging is not just about adding figures so that the candidate you want to rig the election in his favor comes first. No, it's also about suppressing the votes of your opponent. If your opponent is supposed to win the state in a free and fair election and you suppress his votes, then you might equal him or even win him. So assuming the coalition is able to bring 40% of the votes from the north, and Peter Obi is able to bring about 80% of the votes he got the last time, is already a win for the coalition. Now there are strategies the opposition can use to counter the suppression of their votes. And that suppression starts at the distribution center. Like already said, this is why many governors in the south are decamping to APC. They want to be in charge of election materials distribution. That way, they can decide where to send election materials, where not to send. Like already analyzed, this is another form of rigging. If it works for them, they don't need to manipulate numbers. They will simply win you outright because they suppressed your votes. These strategies are better not discussed openly, because once they are open, they will work against it. They will make sure they counter that. Of course, the opposition already knows this. They know how to make sure all voters vote on election day. This time around, if people are able to be motivated like they were motivated in 2023, more people will come out to vote in 2027. If more people troop out in massive numbers to vote and election materials don't arrive on time, they will start on time raising awareness. Like what happened the other time, people were posting videos on social media saying that up till 12 p.m, in some places they said 2 p.m, 4 p.m, polling officers were yet to arrive, and in most cases they arrived. Elections still ended around 6 p.m. or so. Not minding the fact that they didn't start early, they were supposed to give more time so that all the people will vote. So these are strategies they use in suppressing votes. It worked for them before, they would depend on that again in 2027. Come to think of it, there are more than 90 million registered voters in Nigeria, but in 2023 presidential election, less than 25 million voted. So something seriously went wrong, despite the fact that 2023 presidential election turnout was one of the highest in Nigeria's history. But here we are, not even up to 40 or 50 million people voted. So was it just that people didn't come out to vote, or that they suppressed the votes, or that the numbers are fake? Yes. Less than 40% of the voters trooped out to vote in an election. A presidential election so important in Nigeria because of the powers of the president. We will never know, but let people stop talking about not forming a coalition. A coalition is needed. The reason APC is in power today is because of a coalition. So you don't need to love the people you want to go into coalition with. No, they are not even asking you to love them. Just form the coalition with people that have the same objective as you. When you get to power, you can now start picking and choosing, saying this person cannot hold so position, this man is controversial, that one is this one is that. Acquire the power first, and every other thing will take care of itself. Thanks for watching.